Let's go! We're breaking down the Arkansas Ole Miss game. I understand this was a really painful loss, but we've got to talk about this Dan Enos offense. It is abso-freaking-lutely atrocious. I want you to just see how difficult these blocks are, okay? Rocket Sanders is a downhill runner, okay? He can run horizontally, but what Arkansas is electing to do is unblocking this backside end, who's going to account for KJ Jefferson. They're also going to leave the 3 technique unblocked. So this guard is coming to kick out this end, and Brady Latham's job right here is to get all the way to a really fast linebacker, basically to the other side of the hash on a run that is already being run horizontally, okay? I understand Brady Latham isn't the absolute best football player out there, but this is a new-ish right tackle having to make a very difficult block over here. So this defensive end is through here pretty clean. Latham, of course, can't get all the way to that linebacker, and basically every hole was filled. All right, so we move ahead here, and I'm glad Arkansas got out of Brady Latham being the right tackle because it just wasn't ever really going to work, okay? Clear hold right there. I like this from Ole Miss here. So if you know you got a really good matchup right here on this right tackle, have someone else replace him as a contained defender, especially someone like KJ who likes to get out to his right side. Once again, the protection is just an absolute mess. And you tell me what KJ's supposed to do here. You tell me. I guess Armstrong eventually gets open. Once again, it's just an educated guess. I mean, there's just no time. All right, so Arkansas gets a pretty good run, I believe, by Dominion to make it fourth and interesting. God, really good stuff right here by KJ. LSU does a lot of this, okay? Back, going out of the backfield, quick little stop right here, right in the middle, and all KJ has to do is just find somebody here on this 4th and 4. He could have gone Armstrong here. Don't really understand what Ole Miss is doing defensively, trying to get very exotic, inverting everyone out, and just letting people just sit at the sticks for a wide-open first. So 2nd and 20, KJ took another sack, and this is him just making a freaking play. Once again, poor job picking up this twist stunt right here. This DB is able to break through. But once again, if you're going to play KJ Jefferson and getting exotic, you don't want to allow him to break contain to his right side. So this is one of the best quarterbacks in college football when he's able to roll out to his right side. He's just a difference maker, not only as a runner but as a thrower. And look at where he actually puts this football right in line with 8. Washington, the backup tight end who had a really, really, really good game. So once again, this play has just been bread and butter for Arkansas in the red zone. Obviously scored one versus LSU, almost scored another versus LSU a few weeks ago. Just a little split zone action right here. And all we need Washington to do is break one tackle right there, and 5 wasn't even close, and you score first. What a good start. Rough start for Arkansas's defense. Overall, a really good game. Nobody shows this action, this quick pitch, more than Ole Miss. And this is just not defended well at all. Even if they would have quick pitched, that would have been a big gain. And then their best receiver on a little wheel action right there. I don't know what Arkansas was thinking defensively here for that to be wide open. This is Lane's bread and butter, especially early in the game. He loves to flood sides of the field, and he is so good at scripting the early portion of a game. All right, so Arkansas holds Ole Miss to a field goal, and we get to the pick 6 right here from KJ Jefferson. Once again, when you see a crowded line of scrimmage like this, you might think it's 6v5, so you want to work to quicker things on a 3rd and 11. Just not a good call right here because everyone just backs out. And the first thing here is the protection is really good, but you'll see on the protection side of things, Arkansas only had to block 3 guys. So they have a QB spy, and they're saying, look, we are not going to let KJ Jefferson run for this, okay? So the protection is really good. The quarterbacking is not. This is just not good stuff from KJ. And once again, you won't find a bigger KJ fan than me. Sistrunk is arguably Ole Miss's best defensive player. He does a good job squeezing this go route right here and then just sitting underneath basically everything. And you can just see KJ just staring this down the entire way. And in theory, that is open if you don't see the guy, okay? But, when you're staring guys down like that, underneath defenders that you can't see will just pop out of nowhere. And you'll see it right here. Look at his helmet, okay? He doesn't just stare it down the entire time. You can see he actually works back central and then comes back left, okay? When you have all this time in the pocket, you just would hope to not see somebody throwing a giveaway pick six-ish. All right, KJ, good hustle to make it a situation where Ole Miss has to pound this in. And I would seriously consider chatting with 28 about eye discipline. This has just been the case all year, okay? Here's the thing if you're 28. I believe this is Thomas, all right? I understand it's 4th and inches. This is Quinshon Judkins on a direct snap. You, in this situation, have got to use basic football IQ, okay? We don't care about this guy. We don't care about any tight end. The only thing you should be worried about is Quinshon Judkins getting the football here. Don't worry about 19, okay? His eye discipline cost you guys versus LSU and in some other games as well. 28 actually runs with the jet sweep motion, okay? Now, in theory, is this supposed to be passed off from 8 to 28 and he pick up the jet sweep motion? Probably so, but even then in this spot, make them pitch it right here, all right? They have shown on film on 4th and short their go-to play is Quinshon Judkins on a direct snap. So let's just say 28 played Judkins the entire time. This would have given him an opportunity right here in this hole. This honestly is not poorly defended at all on this side. Paul, I hope he's okay. He was a little injured. Did a really good job against an oversized tackle right here to squeeze this down. So Judkins could not bounce this because 27's right here. All right. This player, 22, does a good job filling this gap. If 28 is right here, this is probably a stop. Okay, so if he's just playing this to the left side the entire time, it's closer than this. He's probably still scoring, but the eye discipline, it's very important versus lane to stick with your keys. And that might have been his key. It might have been 28 picks up the jet sweep motion, and then H's job is to pick up that gap. RPO read, this is a very clear pull read right here and throw to Armstrong, but the ball handling is not clean. Can't chunk it. Okay, something else about these RPOs for Arkansas. I know it's tough to do an RPO read where you're faking to the right and then flip back to the left, but this ball has been open to Tesla on some of these RPOs. That's there, okay, but poor ball handling forces KJ to just try and do something here, and he's just getting sacked right there. Here we go, it's 3rd and 12, and they're deciding to get exotic and actually pressuring 4 people, okay? And even if you maintain pass rush lane integrity, it's still so hard to stop KJ Jefferson in these 3rd and longs. And he decides to tuck in run. I have no idea how he converted this one. I'm dead serious. I mean, 23 is right there, and KJ just carries him and is able to stay on his feet. And he picks up a huge first down to keep the chains moving, okay? All right, here we go, 3rd and 9. Once again, I feel like Enos just called too many early down sequence runs. Right here, he has got a perfect play call. Abso-freaking-lutely perfect play call. And this is something that Kendall did a really good job of when he was at Arkansas. So showing some type of screen to the left, which forces everyone to pay attention because that's what it looks like, okay? But instead, it's a quick throw out to the right side. The issue here is Brady Latham has got to make a very difficult block, okay? He's got to get all the way out here to this corner, all right? So let's see if the throw is good by KJ. It is, Okay? Now, in this spot, we need A.J. Green to either make this guy miss or we need Latham to just get a piece of this corner. Okay? Neither happened. Now, first thing I will say is this is a very difficult block. Green was also very slow to react to get upfield. You could just see it's a little stiff if you ask me. Okay? No matter what, whether it's this block being made or this guy being missed, one of these two things had to happen. I think it's a little bit of both, all right? Good play by the corner to fly down, but God, that also takes out the potential of going for it on fourth. Now, I will say, Sam Pittman did not handle the situation well at all. He elected to punt here. I hated that decision, right? If you're at the 39-yard line, you don't want to punt the football ever, okay? At the very least, try to draw somebody off sides and then go for it, okay? Or take the delay of game penalty if you don't draw them off sides and then punt. You should never, in any circumstance, punt from the 35-yard line or 39-yard line. Texas A&M almost did it today. They did have a bad punt. But look at this. You make this guy miss, you're probably outrunning this guy to the inside or the outside, and then you have this safety to beat. You're probably at least getting 5-6 yards there, okay? 10, really good bounce-back game in some areas for Hudson Clark, okay? This is a really good job right here getting to this edge, okay? LSU did a really poor job. Okay, and even in the situation where Landon Jackson's getting absolutely dominated here, okay, at least he forced his play to stretch some. Okay, Hudson Clark reads it quickly, and they're able to get a nice tackle for loss here. All right, 2nd and goal. You know, they're able to hit some big passes, and, I mean, this is just a really good play design right here. Jet sweep, all you have to do is just seal everybody inside, and that's what they do. And it's a good finish right here by 19 to score. All right, so we pick it up here in the third quarter, 3rd and 6. Arkansas, of course, down 17-7. Obviously, if you are an Arkansas fan, this is where you started playing some really good offense, okay? Remember, this was the play that you kind of sort of picked up the first down with earlier, okay? Just get your tight end, sit them right at the sticks, and just have them sit there. You would be shocked how many first downs with the tight end just get converted that easy. And it's just simple pitch and catch. 3rd and 13 is one of the plays of the season, if you ask me, if you're KJ Jefferson, okay? Overall, Arkansas's receivers outside of Armstrong just aren't really that good. Okay, Broden does some good things from time to time. And this throw is from the opposite hash all the way down the field. Broden did a good job finding the weak spot here, and you're able to pick up this first down. All right, huge mistake right here by Arkansas. It's 3rd and 3. The one thing you can't do here is take a sack because that makes it a very difficult field goal, and it knocks you out of an opportunity to go for it on 4th. It's a really good call by a very experienced defensive coordinator in Pete Golding. As a play caller and as a quarterback, you have to understand when you get from this 30-yard line to this 40-ish to 45-yard line, defensive coordinators like to blitz because they want to get you in the uncomfortable situation on 4th down, whether you want to kick a field goal, punt, or whatever, okay? So as you can see, this needs to be communicated, okay? Cole Kublik was doing the announcing, and he brought this up on the telecast. It's pretty clear that this guy is blitzing. Okay, he's this close to the line of scrimmage right here. KJ's either got to see this. 13 has to yell to the right tackle, hey, this guy's coming. And there has to be some kind of check right here. Whether it's the RB picking up right here or the right tackle folding out here and the guard picking up here, something has to happen. There has to be a slide right or slide left call to this side of the line of scrimmage, something. And Arkansas is actually running a play that Kendall Browse ran a lot of, and it's mesh, okay? If this is protected well at all, okay, you've got Wilson here, you've got Armstrong here on the mesh, and you're able to pick up an easy first down. Okay, but because there was an unblocked player right here, KJ just has nowhere to go, takes a sack. I know we don't spend time on kickers. It's one of the best kicks I've seen an SEC kicker kick. Okay, this is 56 yards out, and I want you to see the height on the kick from 56 yards. Cam is an elite kicker, and I think after today, you have to put him ahead of Mevis in terms of the best kickers in the SEC. 4th and 4, and I am shocked that not every defensive coordinator does this on 4th. This shows you that T. Will watches a lot of tape, okay? As you can see, Ole Miss is one of the best 4th down teams you'll ever see, 11 for 14, and we know Lane likes to go for it on 4th. So LSU stopped a 4th down last week by doing something called a zero blitz. It's pretty straightforward, okay? There's no safety. It's cover zero. It's straight man-to-man all the way, and they do a really good job of disguising it, okay? Notice the blitzers don't really show their hand until the ball is snapped. Okay, so that really fools Jaxson Dart, and these guys are right down their neck before you know it. And the other good thing about delaying this pressure right here is the offensive line will let a second to third-ish level pressure go up the middle. You normally don't want to give up the middle pressure, but they let it go. Judkins has to pick up the first guy through, and he does, but this leaves this unblocked A-gap pressure right here, and it's just too much, right? Dart can't read it fast enough, and you get a sack, okay? Really, really good stuff right there by T. Will. Seeing what worked last week versus Ole Miss and using it here. All right, so Arkansas settled for a field goal. I thought the 3rd down quarterback draw call in the red zone was horrible, but we move ahead here, okay? 1 minute left to go in the 3rd quarter, and you call a play action on 1st. Okay, I want you to remember this on 1st down. Okay, from this point forward, if I'm Dan Enos, I am no longer running the football on 1st down. Okay, just keep that in mind. You get a nice explosive gain here on 1st. 1st and 10, second straight week, Arkansas gets a huge screen to Rocket Sanders. And once again, it's KJ Jefferson, the one that really made this happen. This ended up not being the absolute cleanest situation to run a screen, okay? But KJ is able to wait long enough for Sanders to clear right here. And he also needed to lead Sanders into this space. If not, he would have been brought down pretty quickly, and he leads him, okay? Now Sanders is able to cut up field, break an arm tackle right there, and now it's off to the races. The blocking down the field could have been a little bit better, if you ask me. But Rocket Sanders, now that he has some space to operate, is able to get a nice, huge, huge gain. 2nd and 6, and this is where I started to truly believe, as someone who's watched quite a bit of Arkansas here, okay? Really late RPO read right here by KJ. He sees that the safety's coming on a blitz, so he pulls it and then gets a nice, quick throw right here to this tight end, Washington. Barely missed the safety, and a good run after the catch right here by Washington. So if Luke Haas gets healthy, if I'm Arkansas, I'm running more 12 personnel with Washington and Haas as your tight ends. All right, so Arkansas's off-ball linebacker play has just been very inconsistent when it comes to filling the run. I think overall they were okay in this spot. So you get Hudson Clark coming on a blitz right here. He's got to play the quarterback all the way, and he's almost able on this cutback to make this play right here versus Quinshon Judkins. That's asking a lot out of him. The issue here is 3, the transfer from South Florida, I believe, okay, does a good job taking on this block. You've just got to shed this and get out right here. Is that a hold right there? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So now you need 8 to make a good play. The truth is, Arkansas safeties all year long have not done the best job this year of taking angles. Okay, good enough that Judkins was able to get sucked up right there, but huge gain right there. Alrighty, so Arkansas up to this point had been 1 for 10 on stopping Ole Miss on third downs. And this is a third and short. You would think Ole Miss would get this. But if you take a look right here, Ole Miss has their splits really tight. So that means the space between each offensive lineman. And you know in this situation that they're probably just going to run the football, especially with the receiver right here playing a tight end role, if you will. Where this play was made was on Zach Williams. This is a very reliable guy that, it's hard to not like him. Straight out of Little Rock. He's played in a lot of football games, but I want you to see what 57 does to him. Okay? That's nasty. Okay? And I want you to see here, there is no hole to run through. Okay? Arkansas is doing a good job against pretty much every block here except this one where they actually want to run the football. So that is what picked up the first down. This 8 right here, the safety who's had a rough game tackling, is what gives up the touchdown here. He's not even close. But because, boom, I'm looking at you. Okay, so I'm about to show you the worst graded play for me by KJ and Rocket, but if it's in your heart's desire, please drop a donation because these do get demonetized. They do take a lot of time. So, at first, I'd blame Dan Enos mostly on this play, okay? But this is on KJ, all right? He is an RPO quarterback. That's what he is good at. So what does Dan Enos do? Well, KJ had started to play better in the second half, so he said, look, I'm going to let KJ Jefferson decide this game. So there's two different aspects of why I hated this on first down so freaking much, okay? The first is KJ needs to be pulling and throwing this football on this RPO almost every time. Teams have continued to give Arkansas this in-breaking slant. And it's not Armstrong here. This has got to be Armstrong here. That's who KJ is comfortable with. It's hard for me to see the safety right here if the safety is just completely off the screen. If this safety had sunk into about right here, KJ made a good decision to pull it. It's impossible for me to know. But right here, I would like to see this football get thrown. The second thing is Rocket makes an absolutely terrible read right here, okay? You take a look, and on this RPO, all right, normally you have a choice here, okay? You can bounce it out to the left, or you could cut it up to the right. Well, Rocket makes an awful read. Unless it's just told to him it's an automatic handoff and bounce to the left, there is nothing here to the left, okay? If you were to read this edge defender's leverage right here, you see he's got the outside shoulder of this edge blocker, okay? Then there's another guy just folding over right here. If Rocket had decided to just run this thing to the right, blown into the other side of the play, he's the one that actually ends up making this play. He was all the way over here. If Rocket had ran this to the right, look at all this room he has to run through, okay? I mean, he's gaining at least 5 yards if he's able to fight off there or more. Just an absolutely abysmal display of execution from Arkansas's two best players. So now we get to second down, and Arkansas is deciding to throw this football here to Isaac Tesla. The one thing about Arkansas's offense is they do run a lot of these hitches, stops, whatever. It's not really an explosive offense. They don't really have guys to attack vertical outside of Armstrong. Tesla makes a really nice catch, though, to make it a manageable third. All right, so here we go. We get the third down right here. First thing I don't like is Chamblee is a backup for a reason. They put him in because the tackles had not been playing well up to that point. You've got to help him here in this spot, okay? If I'm the tight end and it's not costing me pretty much anything to just get a chip on 99, give 72 Chamblee some love, okay? I hated this play call from Enos. I'll break that down in a second, but you'll see that the protection, that's just a nasty, nasty stab right there. And what makes matters worse is because all the routes are being run to the left right here. KJ's tendency here is to roll out to the left because that's where all his receivers are going. Bad decision by KJ, though. Bad decision. I still prefer him to roll out to the right, okay? So in the spot, he's deciding to do what Russell Wilson's done his whole career, this little spin move to get out of it. What he doesn't know is they brought a delayed linebacker blitz, and one of the worst things you can do is roll out to your opposite shoulder, and there's just a guy just breathing down your neck. And Sistrunk has been their best blitzer. He's a guy who had the big interception on KJ, and you get a sack. Okay, now let's break down the play call. First thing is, yes, you're on closer to the left hash. I prefer running everything to the right so you can give KJ, if he wants to, a chance to break contain to the right. Ole Miss had been giving him contain to the right, but once again, he wants to roll out to the left because that's where all the routes are, okay? So you tell me, if KJ decides to just run this thing to the right, is he picking this up? Maybe he is. It's a run between him and this guy right here, okay? Maybe Sistrunk's able to catch him from the backside, all right? Here's my issue. The play that had been working for Arkansas, you saw it earlier on Film Study on 3rd and medium. They're in a too-high safety look, all right? The guy that's been your big-time playmaker has been Washington. This had been working all day. Boom. Stop right here. That had been working all day. Okay, just him, sit at the sticks, and they gave it to you. Instead, we're running some vertical variation. I have no idea what they're doing. And these routes are all very deep beyond the sticks in what should be a 2-down situation. Man, I would have preferred something a little bit more shallow. I know you have Armstrong right here. I know you have a dig right here. Could KJ have worked to this flat sooner? Maybe so. But still, that had been there all game with your tight end. Don't know why you don't call it there. So just a calamity of errors on this. And first down, more on KJ. Third down, more on Enos. All right, T-Will's been good on third down. He decides to do something not smart here. All right, it's 3rd and 10, and there is extra equity on getting a 4th down stop on this side of the 50 because Arkansas is less likely to go. I say Arkansas. Ole Miss is less likely to go for it here. So he decides to get very conservative here, and he inverts this nickel and or safety, Hudson Clark, out of the play. So they roll into cover 3. All right, so Singletary's going over here. 8 is moving center field. And now the deep third is Hudson Clark. Okay, Jaxson Dart sees this, and now you're having Greer, number 3, roll all the way out here. And guess what? Landon Jaxson is going back into coverage. When Arkansas has floated Landon Jaxson back into coverage like this, it has not worked. It has not worked at all, okay? So you're only getting a 3-man rush. I will give Jeff Coat a lot of credit. He had an amazing game. Look at this pass rush move. He had a stupid roughing the passer right here that would have converted it anyway, so really bad football IQ right there to take him down. You've just got to hold up in that spot, okay? Either way, it's bad defense because in this situation, you want to be aggressive. You don't want to give them all this cushion, and you're asking Greer to get all the way out here, and just look at how easy that is. You can even see that on the screen, and he's just stopping, turning, catching, and look at all that space on 3rd and 10. All right, 2nd and 10, Enos isn't great, but this is really good offense by him, but bad offense by KJ. First thing, good job by Kennedy to get his left tackle some protection here. So, number 8, Washington, who had been good all night as a receiver, he's able to help chip this end. All right. So where KJ's had issues is making these NFL layer types of throws over whole defenders, okay? This is not an easy throw to make. If you were going to throw this, you need to be throwing this now. And you get an interception right here that was telegraphed all the way, okay? Just a bad throw. You still have a timeout remaining and a minute 51. Ole Miss and just defenses in general are going to sink back into deep zones. One of the best things to do is hit checkdowns. Boom. All right? Just hit that for two reasons. The first is this is an easy completion and they're giving you these yards and you're not totally pressed up for time here. Take this also because Rocket catches this and he's going straight out of bounds. Preserves time at the same time. It's just KJ trying to be Superman, telegraphing this throw all the way, and it's just an easy pick. All right, so Ole Miss only averaged 5 yards per play offensively. You can't put this on the Arkansas defense. Yes, this was a weird fourth quarter here where the defense could have made a few more stops, but offensively, Arkansas is just broken.